Kansas is flat. The rest of the world is round.
I hope it's okay to ask this one. I heard about the argument between flat Earth and versus spherical.
Sure, flat Earth versus spherical.
I've always thought it was common sense, but there's been challenges on it, and both sides seem to have some support. What's your posture on it, and how do you support it?
Kansas is flat. The rest of the world is round.
Hello, this is Joe at Effed Up World again, and we are going to listen to what Kent says, and we are going to debunk him with the Bible and with science.
Okay? There's no question, scripturally or physically, the earth is a ball. There are dozens of ways to prove that. Okay? We have visual evidence, pictures from space.
Ah, the old pictures from space card. Well, let's talk about that. What is space, according to the Bible?
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame. Wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. The blackness of darkness forever. Wandering stars, the blackness of darkness forever. Then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness, outer darkness, outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness, outer darkness, outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
So the point about the outer darkness and the blackness of darkness and the darkness upon the face of the deep, the point I'm making is that there's a place of darkness, and it's an evil place of darkness, filled with evil spirits and fallen angels. And I believe if you go into that place of darkness and you look back on the earth, I think you're probably going to be seeing a false image of earth, because you're in outer darkness. And as Paul said in Ephesians chapter 6,
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, the rulers of the darkness of this world, the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Not a dragon on top of the beast.
It's a bottomless pit.
In this abyss of darkness.
I really believe in the space frontier of the abyss, so to speak.
The good abyss. The good abyss.
You can get out at sea. And notice when you see a ship coming toward you, all you see is the top of the mast. As it gets closer, you see more of the ship, and then more of the ship, and finally you see the whole ship. It has to be coming over a curve of a ball. Okay.
He hath compassed the waters with bounds until the day and night come to an end.
So the Bible, they talk about the verses that say Jesus, the whole world's going to see Jesus when he comes. Well, that's possible with electronics. I can see what's happening in China right now, sitting in Lenox, Alabama. So that may be an answer to the question. So I think it is sad that so many Christians have fallen for the flat earth idea. I think.
So, Kent, what if we were born, all of us, what if we were born in a time when the whole world believed a lie? And it was a lie that came from Satan. And it was a lie that made sense, because the whole world believed it. And then, what if the power of God came and sent something down from heaven that seemed very ridiculous at first, seemed preposterous, seemed impossible, because we already know so much? Would that be a gospel? Would that be a gospel of the kingdom of God? Just a question I ask because of something Jesus said.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
It's an embarrassment. Now, the Bible says God sits on the circle of the earth, and they say, well, a circle is round. Well, there's technically no such thing as a circle.
Well, Kent, that's not true. In fact, Wikipedia says a circle is a shape consisting of all points in a plane that are a given distance from a given point, the center. Equivalently, it is the curve traced out by a point that moves in a plane so that its distance from a given point is constant. The distance between any point of the circle and the center is called the radius.
I taught geometry 15 years. I'll take a quiz against anybody. A circle is completely imaginary. If you draw it on paper with a pencil, you now have the thickness of your pencil, so it's now technically a cylinder. So in reality, all plane geometry is completely imaginary. There's no such thing as a circle.
It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in.
So when he said he sits on the circle of the earth, obviously he's talking about the ball.
Well, I just think that that's a dangerous assumption, Kent. And I have reason that I say that. Isaiah knows what a ball is, and he knows what a circle is.
He will surely violently turn and toss thee like a ball into a large country. Like a ball.
Another possible interpretation is from any point on the earth, any point, you could draw an infinite number of circles. You can draw one this way, or this way, or this way, or this way, or there's an infinite number of circles to any point on the earth. So that may be what the verse means.
So anything but the simple idea that God's looking down from above, down onto the earth that he made, that we live on. A circle.
But I think the earth is a ball, and I think it's an embarrassment, especially a lot of Christians have fallen for it, and I think it's sad, you know.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
Bring forth the blind people that have eyes, and the deaf that have ears. Let all the nations be gathered together, and let the people be assembled. Who among them can declare this, and show us former things? Let them bring forth their witnesses, that they may be justified. Or let them hear, and say, it is truth.
So I think they love the Lord. I think they're trying to defend the Bible, what they think it says. I don't question that, their sincerity, but it's just plain wrong.
And they knocked out the concept of Nassau and what their reports and their pictures are. They started second guessing that. And in the argument, as I was watching the argument, they didn't take that as any support at all. They just
Right.
Nassau
Well, they'll say NASA lies. Well, there's no question the government lies. Gee whiz, you know, but that doesn't mean they did on this topic.
Right.
Okay. You'd have to go up pretty high. I don't remember the number now. You'd have to shoot a rocket. There have been homemade rockets have gone up high enough to see the curvature of the earth.
For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
You know, if you were an ant on a basketball, it would look flat. Well, basketball's a wrong analogy. They got little bumps all over them. Okay, a bowling ball. An ant on a bowling ball would think it is flat. But it's just his perspective. He's too close. That's all. We're only, 5, 6 feet tall, standing on an 8,000-mile earth. But if the earth is flat, how could you ever possibly have darkness? How could it get dark at night?
Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race.
Okay, Kent, think of it this way. Your street, the street light on your street. Or if there was one, maybe there's not in Lenox, Alabama. But next town over, can they see the street light on your street? That's how it gets dark.
His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof.
They say the sun is going in a circle above a flat earth.
His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof.
Well, then, nope, you should always be able to see the sun. I should be able to climb on the roof and see China.
You're just not thinking of what happens when you look at something at a long distance, Kent. Perspective comes into play, and a lot of things. Atmosphere, refraction. There's water in the air, especially at close to the ground. So it's hard to see farther than 50 miles in pretty clear air, especially when you're looking across the surface of the earth. We have the best optics that we've ever had, Kent.
Get a good telescope. It's ridiculous. Okay.
You can't.
Yep.
If you're in outer space and you squirt water in outer space real slowly, it'll turn into a perfect ball.
Well, you can just let water drip off of a faucet. As soon as it drips, it pulls itself into a ball. Surface tension does that. So
Just forget surface tension.
Yeah.
Gravity will turn it into a
The water's gravity on its own will turn itself into a ball, right? And if you look at all the other planets, they're all round. The moon, the sun. I mean, we can see the sun actually turn around once every 25 days. They're different. We know it's a ball. We know. Now, the moon, we only see one side because it's gravitationally locked toward the Earth, okay? Or they call it tidal locking. But the moon spins once every 28 days, and it goes around once every 28 days. So we always see the same side. That doesn't matter. But we look at all the other planets, Venus.
Has anyone ever challenged that they were circular? Spherical?
Nobody ever challenges those, only the Earth.
Wow.
Well, I saw somebody sent me a map, a picture of the solar system with, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. All of them are round except for the Earth. They had a flat one. I said, come on, guys.
Kent, the room you're in right now probably has round lights on the ceiling and a flat floor. A soccer field is flat, but the ball is not flat. A pool table should be flat, but the balls certainly aren't flat. These two things have nothing to do with each other.
All the stars, we can't see the stars, I can't tell, but the sun, they're all round.
And distances, dramatically change on a flat Earth versus
many things
reality.
would change, and obviously the next question would be what's on the other side,
You just fall off.
And you can sail completely around Antarctica.
Yeah.
Many people have. Many people say, I've flown from Australia to America. At about, 39,000 feet or whatever the altitude was, you can almost see the curvature, but certainly you can see other airplanes come. It looks like they're coming up out of the water, and then pretty soon you notice they're flying 7 miles up also, So,
everywhere in the world, if the ship is so many miles away from you, you'll see that much less of the ship.
right. You can do that experiment. We have a setup down here at the lake. We haven't quite got it finished yet. Just the opposite ends of our lake. I'm going to put a telescope at one end, and at the other end put a platform, and have both exactly the same elevation. Let's pick a number, 40 inches off the lake level at each end of the lake. I'm going to do the math and make a prediction that I'm going to do it where it goes right past the end of the dock. Okay, that's how we get started setting it up. I'll make a prediction. I'll do the mathematics. I'll say I predict if we're 40 inches off at each end exactly, shoot it in with a scope. Okay, crosshairs on a scope. We go out to the measure in middle. It'll be 1/8 of an inch less than 40 or something. There'll be a 1/4 inch of curve in our lake.
No, there will be water in your lake that moves. A wave is basically when some water goes up and other water goes down from the level surface of that water. It's up and down in elevation from that water's level surface. That's what you're going to measure is waves.
What is it, 6 inches a mile?
That would vary, maybe for the first mile, but then the number would change. It's a very complex formula to calculate, on a globe like that. The further away you go, the more it drops off. You go far enough, it drops off to infinity.
It's actually not that complex of a formula. It is 0.666 times the distance in miles squared, and that will get you your drop in feet.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
The weird part about it is space is so incredibly black, so incredibly dark. It's a bottomless pit of deep black, almost so deep it almost has a texture when you look at it. A bottomless pit. Bottomless pit. Bottomless pit.
And after sunrise, it's you can see, you can follow the daylight kind of taking over the darkness of the surface of the earth. Over the darkness of the surface of the earth.
Was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters.